Hi, this is Brian from Bees. I'm here at the Chicago Vintage Custom Drum Show 2023 in the Mitch Mitchell Fan Club booth here with Kevin Simon. Why don't you go ahead and tell us what you've got here?
Okay, this club was started originally on Facebook because when I went to Facebook to join a club, there wasn't one.
Really?
There was clubs for John Bonham, for Buddy Rich, Louis Belson. There wasn't one there. And then I went to a Guitar Center and looked at a book that thick called Sticks and Skins. Every drummer in the universe. Mitch wasn't in the book.
Really?
So I said, this guy's being overlooked. And the fact is, the massive shadow of James Marshall Hendrix is kind of overwhelming.
Yeah.
So Mitch is the part of the dynamic duo that is the Jimi Hendrix Experience. And I think Stuart Copeland expressed it best. When he was asked, he said, well, the guy said, well, to the audience, now you don't know, but Mitch Mitchell was Jimi Hendrix's drummer, and Stuart Copeland said it, and Jimmy was Mitch's guitar player.
Yes.
So Mitch was unique. He had a childhood. He was a childhood actor. He was the British version of a combination of Harry Potter and everything else. He was known throughout England by the time he was 11.
Oh wow!
Yes,
I did not know that.
Yep. He had originally had like Louis Belson and Buddy Rich. He had a tap dancing background. Mitch went to a Corona Academy in London, where he was eventually kicked out, and he switched to music when he was 12. His parents were astounded and actually kind of horrified because this guy is headed for the big time in motion pictures, but he said, no, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
So now what makes Mitch Mitchell unique? I'll tell you what it is. He has a technical vocabulary to improvise in a rock setting.
Yeah.
Any other band wouldn't happen. It was your Frank Zappa, shut up and play your guitar.
Yeah.
With Mitch, it would have been shut up and play your hi-hat. But Jimmy gave him the freedom to improvise as a jazz drummer.
Yeah.
And he was part of this dynamic duo, Mitch and Jimmy. You listen to the song Fire?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
That's
actually.
a duet.
Like, you're telling me about how, like, as you're saying this, I was literally thinking about Fire and those roles and just kind of how
it's a duet.
How it has such a cool sound to it.
It's a duet. And Mitch has and the other thing about Mitch has a swing feel. He's a rock drummer, but it's swing. There's a swing feel to it, which you don't hear in other rock drummers.
Yeah.
So he couldn't get away from that, really. That was his mid and potatoes. I'll give you an example. Bart Vanderzee asked me on Drum History Podcast, is there a Mitch Mitchell song that alone would make him as a drumming phenomenon? I said, yes, there is. One song, that's the drumming part to Voodoo Child.
Yeah.
Voodoo Child is... So, you watch Mitch playing it, there's about 4 seconds of it, and Mitch is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The song is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's moving in a polyrhythm to a song that's in 12/8. It's like, what in the world?
Yeah.
So it's really.
It makes it really just unique and draws you in.
Right, and Jimmy had a great line about Mitch. He said, that little guy back there scares me.
Right.
Yeah. So
my first ever NAMM show in about 98, 99, I saw Mitch play with like T.M. Stevens at some blues club in like Nashville. It was really incredible.
Right.
Yeah, he was such a great player.
Yep.
It was so great. But so tell us about this kit. So you have some kits here.
Okay, well I'll tell you how it just morphed into what it is.
Yeah, I'd love to hear.
The fan club was started in 2013. A couple people, Chris Rod, one of my drummers over there.
Hi, Chris. I'm Brian.
What's up, everybody? I'm Chris. Bye. Yeah, he was taking drum lessons when he was in 8th grade. Now, my drumming background a little bit. So I was on the road with Upper People when I was 17, but the technical chops thing comes from the Marine Drum and Duo or Washington.
Yeah.
So I always admired Mitch's phenomenal skills. So the fan club starts in 2013. It's growing. But I had to do something special in 2020 for the Jimmy's passing, the 60 years.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I basically assembled this, which is it's a lovely kit with Mitch was a hybrid drummer. He used Ludwig, but this is Rogers. That's Rogers.
Yeah.
So it has it's a Ludwig Rogers hybrid. As the years went by, he kept adding more Rogers.
Yeah.
So this was the first kit. It was done in time for the 50th year, 60th year of Jimmy's passing. And it's basically a small kit.
So you just hunted this down to be an exact replica of the kits he used. What era was this that he used this in?
This is 1967. There you go. There's the first
right
tour.
behind me. Yep.
First tour. Now, what are the components of the drum set? There they are.
Yeah.
Tells you exactly what they are.
You detailed it right down. Redetailed it right down.
This right here, there it is. So it's really been a lot of fun. It's turned into something really pretty creative. Now that set over there.
Can we go over there?
Yes.
Let's go over there.
That is the holy grail of Mitch.
The far set.
Yes.
All right.
By 1968, Mitch and Jimmy had reached their creative Mount Everest.
Yeah.
And this was the kit. This is a replica. The actual kit is owned by the drummer for Soft Machine. His name was Wyatt. Mitch gifted it to him. Now, what you're looking at is a modern Ludwig kit. It's 2 years old, legacy maple, 3-ply, and reinforcement rings. It was custom made by Ludwig to put all the drill holes where they're supposed to be in the 60s.
I noticed the swivel-o-matic, the Rogers tom mount.
Yeah.
That's a.
So Mitch is migrating. He has some Rogers over there, but here it's Ludwig drums and everything else is Rogers.
Yeah.
Rogers, knobby tilder, the Rogers swan leg, Rogers tilder. Now this is pretty interesting because Mitch had a drum tech. That's why this is.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Now it's moving. Okay. This is actually supposed to come up straight at like an L, like a 45, but Mitch couldn't find one. So his drum tech put it at a strange angle. Now you say, is that accurate? Yes, that's accurate.
Wow. So you just every detail.
Yeah, this is a 68 snare. So it's accurate to the micro detail. It's accurate down to the 1940s tilters. Why does Mitch have 1940s tilters? Nobody knows.
Yeah.
And there they are. And there they are.
Nice.
So now let's move on to the big enchilada over here.
The big enchilada.
All right. In February of 1969.
I'm gonna come around here. Why don't we put you right here, and I'll be right here.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
So this set is actually the only one we've had that's grown in size with the popularity of our club. Mitch, in February of '69, got a lovely Black Panther kit. This is the exact replica. Now this is an historic replica. These are drums that are from the '60s. They're exactly that era. That set is I call it a cosmetic hybrid.
Yeah.
Because it has Mitch vintage stuff with a mixture of modern. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, this is all authentic 1960s, all right? So Mitch ordered a 7-piece set from Ludwig in February of '69. And he used it on the tour. By the time he got to Woodstock, he was down to a 5-piece. Someone took the bass drum, someone took one tom.
Yeah.
So our first year here, we had the 5-piece.
Yeah.
Then we said, what can we do? So we went to the full Monty right here. So this is a remarkable kit.
These Black Panthers, it's almost like Amptolex or something, right? If I remember right, you know more than me.
It's Black Panther. It's really a kind of a imitation shark skin leather.
Yeah, yeah.
We couldn't. There is no more Black Panther. Hasn't been around in 30 years. So we came with a very close pretty close, I would say, the best we could find.
You know, I'll tell you that Fred from the that sells the books for Rob at the front has a Black Panther kit.
Yeah, the Black
It's an original, yeah.
The Black Panther has no sheen to it at all. It's flat. Now, I'll tell you something funny about the Black Panther. Why Ludwig has Black Panther? Because in 1967, they made an oyster pink set.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it was a non-seller. So
I like it.
So I do too. It's fantastic. No, so Bill Ludwig Senior, they said we have 100 of these drum sets and we got to do something, and they wrapped them. The wrap is there to hide the original color, the actual.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and it says in the catalog. Black Panther contact paper. They kind of let it slip.
Oh yeah.
So imagine releasing hundreds of sets to hide the hidden color underneath. But nowadays that would be really a great color.
Yeah, you know, it almost reminds me of like the the Beatles Butcher Block, where you might be able. I'm sure it would never go as well as you'd imagine, but peeling it would be quite a thing to find that oyster underneath. What a contrast.
So we tried to make as few compromises as possible.
It looks incredible.
I'll tell you folks something. In the past 2 years, this vintage Roger stuff is, except for this show, it's dried up. It's not available. You can't find it.
Yeah.
And here's the trick and the challenge. You can buy the drums, you can recover them, you can put new lugs on, but to find vintage Roger stuff that looks new, it has to look new. It has to look like Mitch is coming down here to play.
Yeah.
So that's the trick, and we've been able to solve that.
Oh, they look really cool. So you guys are primarily a Facebook group, or how can people get a hold of you?
Okay, thank you very much. We're a Facebook group, but we also have a website called MitchDrummer.com.
Nice.
And we're getting Mitch is getting the recognition. Last night we were listening to Voodoo Child.
Yeah.
On the way up, and two of my friends had never heard it before. They're non-drummers, and they went, "My gosh, it's like
how?
How is he doing this?"
Yeah.
So Mitch. Now, one thing I want to mention: Mitch's daughter, Aisha, it's a wonderful person. She's been to some of our shows. She couldn't make it this time, but she will be back again. She knows where the original drums are.
Yeah.
They're in England. They're 67 kids. I said, Aisha, how would you know? She said, I helped my father put them down.
Oh wow.
So
so fingers crossed. Maybe you'll be a curator of that someday.
Yeah, it's an honor. Mitch is not just another drummer. His level of artistry goes beyond just drumming, and he was a perfect dynamic duo, Batman and Robin.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really impressive to see the level of tiny little details. I mean, right down to every screw, it seems like you really paid attention to how to show people these as they were when he played them.
And believe me, the fans would say, that's not the right wing nut. They're down to that level.
Yeah. Well, I super appreciate it. Well, hey, I appreciate you talking to me today. Thank you very much.
Mitch Mitchell Fan Club. Check us out on Facebook and Mitch Drummer.